Hey guys, and welcome to season 4 of the Us People podcast. I'm your host, Savia Rocks, and in this season, we get to remember and reminisce back in time with some of our guests like...
Hey, we are Entity,
and you're listening to
the Us People podcast
with Savia Rocks.
Hey, my name is Stephen Ridley, and you're listening to the Us People podcast with the lovely Savia Rocks, keeping it positive.
Hi, my name is James Green. I'm a TV presenter, sports reporter and journalist.
Hi, this is Joy Langley, and I'm the author of Navigating Stress.
Hey, this is Travis Glossop. I am a creative radio producer for Kiss FM, and you're listening to the Us People podcast with Savia Rocks.
We highlight the strengths of our cultures, talking about diversity and inclusion, and speaking out loud and proud about who we are.
I was never that good. I was determined. I had a love for the sport, and that always fueled me.
But arriving into London and kind of growing up in a really difficult situation, trying to kind of make sense of my life with with at home and not being accepted by the people around me, because there was, in the 60s, there was tremendous racism growing up in London.
It's great. I'm glad, because I'll be honest, I didn't really work that hard at uni, so it was good to leave uni and really get on it, really because I also, as a person, I think I value productivity. A lot of people live to work. I think I am one of the work to live guys, but because my work is amazing, that's all right with me. So as a person, I go to bed happy when I've had a productive day.
We've also saved the best till last by honouring another artist and showcasing their talent as our new theme song, with none other than your host, Savia Rocks, featuring in their song. So guys, enjoy, stay creative, and as always, please continue to be kind to one another. Let's go.
Hello, I'm Lee Moulson, and I am the project manager for the Racing Media Academy. You're listening to the Us People podcast with Savia Rocks.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm from the class of 22 of the Racing Media Academy. You are listening to the Us People podcast with Savia Rocks.
Hi, my name's Thea, and I'm the class of 2023 of the Racing Media Academy, and you are listening to Us People podcast with Savia Rocks.
Peace of mind, gotta keep my energy and peace of mind. I protect my energy and peace of mind.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Us People podcast. I'm your host, Savia Rocks, and today, surprisingly and humbly, I am so honoured to have Lee, Thea and Michael here with me. Lee is the project manager of the Racing Academy, and then we have the lovely Thea here with me, who is the class of 2023, and we have lovely Michael, who is smiling, I love that, who is the class of 2022. Guys, I want to thank you so much for taking your time to come on the Us People podcast. How are you all?
Thank you.
They're so humble as well. They're just quiet there, and so the one thing I really love to ask everyone who comes on the show is to ask them about themselves, where they grew up, but what also influenced them to be the person who they are today. So I'm going to pick on Lee first, because that breaks the ice. Okay? so Lee, can you tell me a bit about yourself, where you grew up, but also how that influenced you to be the person who you are today?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Sussex. Just, my dad was a builder, my mum was a nurse. I got into horses when I was about 7. I didn't have a lot of friends because I was different to other people, and I started riding horses, and that was it for me. They were my friends. So yeah, and I got into horse racing when I was 13, and I went to the racing school when I was 16, and I'm now 44, and I'm still within the horse racing industry in sort of various capacities. I guess the thing that my driver, as such, is I always felt different, and that was because of my sexuality. So growing up as a sort of gay person in the 90s was quite tough. It wasn't easy. So I think I've always had that sort of determination within me to sort of do better, be better, and sort of try and help other people. So that now brings me into sort of what I'm doing now with the racing pathway and the Racing Media Academy. I feel like I'm here to sort of support other people that might not necessarily have had you know, the best chances or the opportunities. And for me now, it's about ensuring that we can spread the message to as far and wide to say that, you know, there are opportunities for everyone. And I guess that's where my driver is.
See, I love the fact that you said so many things in one, because no, it's true, because today people are so judgmental based upon how you look, you know, your status, you know, what can you do for me, rather than seeing the compassion and kindness within someone. And I always concentrate on the compassion and kindness of people. So it's brilliant that you're highlighting so many different identities within a person that allows them to be free within themselves. So that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
No, you're more than welcome. So I'm going to jump to Thea, the lovely lady in the middle of the guys. Could you tell me a bit about yourself, but also where you grew up and how that influenced you to be the person who you are today?
Yeah, so I grew up in Somerset. I was born in London, but my mum decided that being a single mum and trying to work in the city wasn't a good combination. Yep. So she moved us down into Somerset. She wanted, as she said, she wanted some hills. She didn't want the flat concrete town that we were living in. So yeah, she moved us out into the countryside, which I'm very grateful for, because I think that very much influenced my lifestyle of being able to be around horses. And horses have been in my life since I was 3. I was apparently one of those children where my mum plonked me on a horse, and instead of screaming to get off, I screamed because she was trying to take me off. So
there you go.
It was fairly obvious that horses were going to be part of my life from then on. Horses have been in and out of my life, even though I've always been told sort of trying to make horses my passion, not my profession. I completely ignored that, and here I am trying to make the new start thanks to the RMA. But for me, life hasn't been straightforward. It has been me and my mum from day dot, and I've had my own challenges of I'm a dyslexic. I've always struggled in school. I've never fitted in. And in, I think it must be 2020-ish, I was diagnosed with Asperger's. And actually, for me, it was a massive release, because it explained why I didn't quite fit, or why I thought a different way to people. And it really was a massive release for me. And everyone has said ever since I was told this is me, I've just opened up into another person and relaxed finally into myself, and accepting that this is me and this is how I work, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just use it to my full advantage. So yeah, finding the RMA has been such an eye-opening and wonderful experience, and so far it's all going pretty well.
I like that. See, that's the beautiful thing about life, is finding your uniqueness. I think most of the time we try to fit into a category or a box, and that's not who we are. We're all individual and unique individuals, but as we grow up in life, we realize we don't have to be like everyone else. And that's a good thing, because standing out makes people realize they more attracted to you because you are unique. Like Lee is unique in his way, you are unique in your way, and I'm sure after hearing Michael, he is definitely going to be unique in his way. Thank you so much for sharing that. So Michael, I'm going to jump to you now. So after hearing everybody else, please tell me about yourself.
Well, basically I come from sort of a council estate in Newcastle, yes. Like in the west end of Newcastle, as you could probably tell by the accent. It's a bit of a thick Geordie accent. And, so I come from it's in the west end of Newcastle, sort of it's like a bit of a rough area, and unlike those two there, I never saw like a horse until I was in my 20s, you know. But my granddad used to watch horse racing, and I got like a bit of a feel for it, because I told the guys when I first started the Racing Media Academy that you wouldn't let me watch it with him. He would never sort of let us watch it, but we could hear him, you know, sort of cheering on his horses and things. And I was always sort of intrigued about what was going on, you know. And yeah, so I basically got in through that. I started watching it myself, and And then I saw the Racing Media Academy, and really it sort of changed my life in a way, you know, because I never thought I would ever be able to do anything like this coming from where I come from, you know. And yeah, so basically it has sort of changed my life, and like this, it has made me become sort of a better person as well, because I never had any confidence or anything, you know, like I just literally had zero confidence. But the first sort of day at the academy, when we're getting asked to do things and stuff, and I was just putting my hand up straight away to volunteer to do anything, you know. I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. Just, and even though I was like really uncomfortable doing it, I just done it just because I wanted to take, you know, the experience as it came, kind of thing. I wanted to do everything, and so yeah, it's made me a better person all around.
See, I actually love the fact that you jump in to being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, it was because I didn't want to. I could have easily sort of curled up and went into my shell and just not done anything. But if like ask Lee, I was like literally anything. I just my hand was straight up, even if I couldn't do it or anything. You know, it was because I was there and I was really happy to be there, and I wanted to sort of take every experience as it came. You know.
See, this is why I love what you're doing, Lee, because you're giving people from the outside. And you're bringing them in and you're giving them opportunities that they... And it's the same even with me, Lee, to be quite honest with you. I would have never got to meet you guys if this opportunity did not happen. So, you know, I commend all of you for doing this. My next question is actually one of my hardest questions that I ask. And you're like, everyone's smiling. So I'm going to jump to Lee again for this question. So, Lee, could you tell me, how do you define yourself as a person, but also how do you see yourself when you look in the mirror? But on the flip side of that question, has there ever been a time when you have looked in the mirror and not recognized the person staring back at you? How did you positively manage to come from being the person that you not necessarily did like to becoming the person that you ambiently did like?
Oh my God, this question resonates with me so much because I used to look in the mirror, and I'm going to sound like a right weirdo now, but this is the God's honest truth. I used to, when I was growing up, I used to look in the mirror and it constantly ask the mirror who I was. And I did this for years, and because I didn't have a sense of who I was. And so, you know, it was like, I don't feel like I've really, really become the person that I am now until I was in my 30s. Like, I was not comfortable with myself for a long time. I was in a relationship where my partner wasn't open about the fact that we were together. So, you know, I've spent a lot of my time quite suppressed. I think I was suppressed in the early part of my career as well, because I was worried about, you know, being my true authentic self. So I would say it's probably not until I was in my 30s that I was completely comfortable with who I was. And, you know, I think along the way we have learning experiences. We can't all say that, you know, we've done good things all the time. We haven't. But, you know, we must sit back and we must reflect on those and learn from them and look to how we can be better people. So I think the last 5 years, I've probably been the most sort of comfortable and probably the best version of myself. Certainly coming and working with Josh and Abby on the racing pathway, which is all about, you know, creating opportunities and pathways into horse racing, has sort of really sort of cemented my passion for everything, both, you know, my passion for horse racing, but my passion for helping people. And so I guess that the last few years have probably been where I've been at my happiest, and also, you know, doing things that really matter, as opposed to sort of being driven by money or the career or anything else. You know, now for me it's very different. Now I'm in my 40s and I'm comfortable with myself. Like, you know, my drivers are very different now.
See, and that's what it's all about. So I'm going to jump to Thea now.
Well, I mean, I feel like I again with Lee, sort of, I've always looked in the mirror and I've not quite seen who I think I am, or I'm looking and I don't know how to become the person I want. If I think I see someone and then something will happen and I'll go back and the next day it's like, is that really who people see? Is this really who I'm projecting? And I still don't think, I mean, I'm 27 and I know it's still early. I've still got years to find out exactly, but I still very much there are days where I do look at myself and say, this is a new person. This is someone that I want to be. But then there are the days where I do look and I go, I'm not quite there yet. And I don't quite know how to find me as a person. I feel like sometimes, especially being a female, when you're expected to act in certain ways and have all your girlfriends around you, and I haven't necessarily had that. I have been a bit of a loner. I've got a few very special core friends who I know are always there to have my back and support me in whatever I choose to do, but there's not many, and every now and then it does feel very alone and not sure how to present myself to the rest of the world. So
have you ever thought to yourself that maybe you have a unique purpose, and sometimes having a unique purpose takes you away from everyone because there's a bigger picture in the future for you?
Yeah, I think there is, and especially racing. So before I got onto the Racing Media Academy, I had a very dark, low period of about a year where I just couldn't see any way forwards and I didn't like who I was becoming. And about a year before I applied for the Racing Media, I finally picked myself up and said, okay, right, you've hit rock bottom and you're going to find a way, and it will be baby steps and you will get there. And then I just by chance saw an application for the Racing Media Academy and I went, okay, we're going to try this. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work, but put one foot in front of the other, apply and see what happens. And I cannot tell you how I felt when Lee phoned me and said, you have got a place, please come for an interview. I've absolutely never felt that happy with myself. And I think that was the first step where I'm now on this new path where actually I'm starting to believe that I can do it and become the person I want to be.
See, and that's what it's about. That's definitely what it's about. So Michael, even I'm applauding. So Michael, what about yourself?
Well, I feel like I'm sort of like still trying to like find myself, sort of thing, if that makes sense. Like, because like the first like 20 years of my life was, like I say, we was growing up in like the West End of Newcastle and things like that. Like we never really had much or anything like that, and we're always sort of like competing with each other and just doing sort of like stupid things, you know, like when we were young. And when I got older, I sort of tried to like grow out of that and try to like become me kind of thing, and instead of like what society sees or what my friends are acting like or what other people are doing. I wanted to become me, and still to this day now, like I'm still not like 100% sort of certain where I am, because like I feel like we all have like with dark days and things, and obviously like the thing with the Racing Media Academy is that it's gave us sort of like this new sort of lease of life to be able to focus on something, to become the person that I want to be, you know, and I never had that before this. I was just sort of doing things myself, like my own. I was working for myself, self-employed and things, but and the job that I was doing was like, it was decent and stuff and everything, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. It wasn't me, you know. But as soon as like I got involved in the racing side, people actually were interested in what I had to say, and that was like shocking to me. I thought people would just think he has this fat loud Geordie that's like coming in, you know, like making like jokes and things and trying to like. But when I started talking about the horses and things, and people actually started to listen to us and took it seriously, you know, and now I'm actually on the path of finding where I actually want to be, and the Racing Media Academy has helped us do that.
So Michael, I'm going to jump back to you. So the question I'm going to ask you is, how do you describe the community and culture within the horse racing industry, and how does it contribute overall to the environment and the enthusiasm of the actual sport itself?
Well, I mean, I had there was like a stigma against it at first when I first got into it, because I was just like, it's just for like posh people and stuff, and for people with a load of money, and like literally it couldn't be far from the truth. When I went to Newmarket with the Racing Media Academy, like people were coming up, like I started speaking, and obviously when people knew that I was like a Geordie, I had like trainers and stuff coming up to me, you know, like people were actually coming up to me, and people were actually, and it was great, and it sort of, I feel like as long as you have like the passion, and this could be in anything, it doesn't have to be in horse racing, but as long as you've got that passion and that drive, like you can make something of it, and it doesn't, even if you sort of don't succeed straight away with jobs. Like I had applied for a lot of jobs, and when I left the Racing Media Academy, and I was really keen just to keep going, you know, to keep myself within the racing sort of scene, and I didn't feel like it was happening at first, but you just persevere, keep going. Yeah, exactly. Kind of, they gave me a platform, but you still have to try, and you still need to do things for yourself. You can't just expect things sort of given on a platter kind of thing. So that's really what I've went from, like having this sort of thought process where I was a little bit intimidated coming into it, but when I have went into it, I've been welcomed in with open arms, you know. So it's been really, really nice.
Yeah, this is what I love about this. So then I'm going to go to Lee to ask him this question. Lee, how important is diversity and inclusion when it comes to taking people from different backgrounds? And it's not just about colour or culture, it's just necessarily, like you said, Michael, finding people who have this unique passion for what they love and bringing out the uniqueness of them and that enthusiasm. But how important to you is diversity and inclusion, especially in the horse racing community and also the educational side?
Yeah, so I think, you know, what Michael said was a really good point. I think horse racing as a sport probably doesn't portray itself quite as well as it could. You know, people probably do look at it and go, it's a sport that's for people that are predominantly white and wealthy, but it couldn't be further from the truth. I think that there's, you know, that there's a lot of really, really good things that are happening within the sport to sort of firstly drive inclusivity. I think that's the key thing, and the fact that, you know, that we share that message that you can come and do anything within horse racing, be that in the media, be that becoming a jockey, riding a horse, looking after horses. You know, there is opportunities for everyone, and I think the Racing Media Academy is just part of getting that message out there, that actually, you know, that there is an opportunity for you. If you're sat listening to this podcast, you know, don't think of it as this sport that's not inclusive, because actually it really is, and there is so much going on within it. What we say in the Racing Media Academy, for instance, is you don't necessarily need to know that much about horse racing, but, you know, if you've got a passion for directing, producing, camera work, you know, that's your passion, and we can help facilitate that in the Racing Media Academy. So, like, I think education is really important, and it's important for all the time. Like, we should always be learning, and I think that's the thing. Like, hopefully, just getting out there and telling people that there are opportunities is helping us drive that sort of inclusivity even further.
How did it all start, Lee? Because I know how it all started, because obviously we had a beautiful conversation before, but how did this all start off and decide that you're going to give these opportunities to so many beautiful people?
Yeah, so it all started really from the Sky broadcaster Josh Apiafi. He's a friend of mine, and Josh sat on the diversity and inclusion steering group for racing, and he felt that actually progress wasn't happening as quickly as he wanted it to. So he decided to kind of like put his money where his mouth was and go out and do some, yeah, literally, and go out and do some things himself. And he had a few sort of ideas, and he contacted me at the end of 2020. So the beginning of 21, he was like, right, these are the things that I want to do. Can you help me? And like, as soon as he sort of talked me through what he wanted to do, I was like, oh my God, yes. So that's how the Racing Pathway was born. So the Racing Pathway is about creating pathways into horse racing that are not necessarily rider based. So because there are a lot of good pathways if you want to ride a horse already. You've got Riding the Dream Academy, you've got the British Racing School, the National Horse Racing College, the Pony Racing Authority. So if you want to ride a horse, those pathways kind of exist. So this was really about getting pathways into racing for the other areas, not necessarily that you would sort of see. And the first thing Josh wanted to do was the Racing Media Academy. So we went to the Racing Foundation with a sort of pilot plan, and the 2022 course was our kind of pilot. So we had 10 people on that, Michael being one of them, and that was kind of our first sort of learning, really. We'll do the course, we'll learn from it, and then hopefully we'll do it again. And we've just launched 24, so our third year. So hopefully we've learned quite a lot and helped quite a few people. So
no, I definitely think it's so. I'm going to jump to Thea for this question. So Thea, what was class 2023 like for you, but also what did you learn? And how do you feel it has progressed in your life, helped you to progress in your life?
So, I mean, our group was an incredible group, considering we all came from different backgrounds, a few of them from different countries where English isn't their first language, and they were making their way. And like, one of the lovely people, John, like he didn't even know really what a horse was up close. And I remember one of our first trips out, and we went into the stables, and he sort of went, "Oh my God, that's a real horse." It's like, yeah, that's what they look like. Like, aww. They are here. They're real. And he's like, "Can I touch it?" I was like, "Yeah, go and pat it." Like, and it was so amazing sort of seeing how everyone got through the week in their own ways and taking on challenges. And for me, I am quite a shy person, so sort of going in, and obviously we got little bios on each other, so you sort of got a guess of roughly who was who, but actually meeting people face to face was like, oh, didn't expect you in this form, and like, okay, not what I was expecting, but everyone was so lovely. And I think the best thing was everyone was so supportive of, we all rallied round, and if there were moments where people were struggling, like, we all got behind each other and helped and did what we could to make sure that everyone was enjoying every single step.
I love that.
And it was an amazing week. I mean, it did feel like going back to university, of sitting through these lectures going, whoa, what just happened? Like, so much information, and trying to take in every second of what these incredible people that Josh and Lee arranged to come in and talk to us. But yeah, for me, I think by the end of it, I felt a lot more confident in myself that actually I was on the right path to find something that would fit me and suit me for the future. There was a task where we were put in front of the camera and we had to sort of be talking to people, and for me it's my worst nightmare. I hate it. I can't stand to look at myself in videos and photos. I don't know what it is, but that's me. And after doing it, I'd felt nervous through it. I could feel myself shaking. We got back into the room and they played it on big screen. As Lee knows, I just lost it. I burst into tears because I just couldn't watch myself. But it was wonderful because actually we had lovely Lydia Hislop and Lee Morshead from Racing Post and from Racing TV that Lydia's with. But they were just so lovely. And they went, look, it's so obvious that you are terrified. Like, no one can deny that you look terrified and you're obviously feeling terrified. But they were so helpful and positive and really bolstered me when it's fine. Like, you've proved to yourself that you can do it if you want. And that's exactly what I took away from that week of, even though I'm not the best journalist and don't want to be in a camera, but actually I can do it if I really push myself. And that has really helped going on from finishing the course and moving on to the big bad world.
I think that moment that you're talking about was just goes to show what, you know, how open that you could be within the group, that you laid your emotions bare, and actually people rallied around you with support and encouragement. And I think that's, you know, when we're talking about inclusivity, like, you know, to be vulnerable and in that environment where you can be is inclusivity, because everyone, you know, was felt that they could be supportive and you could be that vulnerable. And actually, like, it was quite a poignant moment in the class of 23, I thought, like, because you could just see everyone like rallying around, and that to create that environment was really special.
See, and that's what that's. I can just feel the emotion from when Thea was speaking about the whole, just all of it, the whole community, the whole support, how you all support each other, and regardless of your fear. You know what? I actually commend you, Thea. It takes a lot of guts to get, even on a microphone, even what you're doing right now, to talk to me. It takes a lot of guts to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think before the RMA, I don't think I'd really would have been able to do this. Of like, definitely that group environment being so supported has bolstered my confidence, which is why I did, when Lee was like, oh, we're looking for people to come on, I was like, okay, sounds like fun, why not? Like, let's have a crack at it. So, yeah.
That just goes to show how far that you've come.
Exactly.
Like, you know, so fair play.
Definitely. Michael, I'm going to jump onto you. So tell me how the class of 2022 was for you, but also what did you learn and how did that help you to build confidence within yourself?
Well, like I said sort of before, I was like really not confident or anything, but I was really excited, you know, like it was sort of a once in a lifetime opportunity for me, you know, coming like from where I come from to go down to Newmarket and stuff and to be at the racing school and things. And it was just like, I wasn't sort of going to let it pass us by or anything. And I had to do like, I've got like a thing where, because I had to like, I missed like a train, you know, like the day before I was supposed to be there on the Friday, because obviously was living in Newcastle, it's quite far, and I missed, like, my train got cancelled and I had to get buses, you know, so it took us like 16 hours on like 4 different buses. Yeah, like I had to like go from Newcastle to Milton Keynes, and then from Newcastle to Peterborough, and then from Peterborough to Milton Keynes, and then Milton Keynes to Newmarket, and then from Newmarket I actually like walked from the station where I got off of the bus stop, and then I walked from there to the academy. And the guys would have helped us, you know, if I had phoned Lee or anybody, they would have definitely helped us. But I was like, with me confidence and stuff being a little bit
dedication.
Yeah, like, well, that's what it was. And I wasn't even going to say anything, but it got to the point where, because I was literally dragging my suitcase, you know, like in the middle of the road, and it was like I was like holding up traffic and things. So I was like, I need to actually call somebody here, you know, and ask for assistance. And Carol, a lovely woman who was at the racing school, and she just assisted us and told us where it was, and she couldn't believe that I was actually there with my suitcase, you know, walking from the but it was just, like I say, it was dedication. But that was the first day, and I've always been sort of told, like, you respect people, you know, like especially the people that have given you like an opportunity, if it's like a job or whatever. Yeah. So as soon as I met Lee and Josh, I was very keen to like introduce myself and to like thank them for the opportunity. And then once it sort of, because I think I was one of the first people there, and then once everybody started coming in, and I was talking to everybody, and we all got to know each other. The first day was a bit of a like an icebreaker, and then after that it was everybody was just really, really helpful. I think that's one of the things about actually bringing sort of such a diverse group of characters. There's no judgment, because I think that in everybody's own way, we all feel a little bit strange, you know. So we all didn't want to like judge anybody else or anything like that. So we all looked after each other, and I think that's like what Lee was saying before as well. I think that it all sort of like a confidence kind of thing for me, you know. Like if I can't do it, like if I don't want to do it, I'll do it. Like I'll force myself into doing it, and I would never have done that until the Racing Media Academy. Literally would never have done that. I've never been like sort of shy or anything like that. I've always been sort of able to like talk and things, and but I've not been sort of confident about it, if that makes sense. That makes sense. But now I'm a little bit better with that. I mean, I can still, as you can probably tell, I still go on a bit, you know. And when I'm a little bit wrong with that. I'll still talk a little bit more than I should. But yeah, Lee and Josh have been brilliant, and I've kept I work for Josh as well now, you know. So it's brilliant. Yeah, it's been amazing.
See, this is why things like this need to keep going. It really, really does. So, Lee, how do you feel the next generation of 2024, when they come in, are going to be... Oh, his face was like, ooh. How do you feel the generation for next year, when they come in, for the class of 2024, are going to be?
Well, that's a really good question. I mean... I hope that they're as amazing as the 2 years that we've had, and I think you know what the guys here have said is you know exactly what we try to portray, which is, you know, this is an opportunity for anyone from wherever you are, to give something a go, and we'll create a community will be created around you. And I think, you know, that's what's for me so lovely, like just seeing how these amazing people support each other. And you know, our plan is very much to sort of grow that as we go on to the sort of the next academy, and we've got a plan to try and bring everyone together at some point, so that, you know, so they can all meet each other. But until we start to sort of meet people, it's hard to say how it will be, but I know it will be awesome, because I know that the people that really want to give it a go will put in that application, and you know, we will give them the best chance that we can. So I think we've certainly learned a lot over the last couple of years, and we're, you know, constantly trying to make things better, but I know that we will get amazing young people that really want to give this a go, and it'll be them that make it awesome.
See, this is what... So I would love to ask you again, Lee, how does it all work in the placement overview, and how does that all work? So if anyone would like to come and do this, how can they get into it? How do they get in touch with you? How does it all work?
Yeah, so applications are really easy. So you just go onto the Racing Media Academy website. So it's www.racingmediaacademy.com. Applications, there's a button. You can just put your name and email address if you want to. Like, we've made it easy. You can upload, if you want to upload a video, TikTok, a Instagram post that you've done. Like, it doesn't have to be a CV. Like, you don't have to upload anything, but you can upload whatever you want, basically a blog that you've written, a YouTube video. Like, if there's something that you want to put on there to showcase what you've done, you've got that opportunity. But it is really as simple as putting your name and email address if you want to. Jump online, put in an application. They'll get reviewed the beginning of January. We're going to sort of give a call to everyone to find out a little bit more about them in January too, and what their interests are, so that we can then put forward for interviews. So there'll be an interview process at the beginning of February, and then we will select the 12 for the course. But it's a very simple application process, and all we ask is there is a willingness to learn.
And this is, guys, I'm a big fan of this, so I'm asking you to go on a computer, find the confidence within yourself, and just apply. You don't know unless you try, and there's nothing wrong with trying. At least you know you tried. If you do get in, if you don't get in, remember, every year you can just keep trying. And sometimes when something doesn't happen in this year, it's for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, so it might happen for you the next year. So don't feel down on yourself, but just keep pushing and being motivated and having that positivity within yourself to just keep going. Guys, I would like to, actually, I'm going to go to Michael and Thea for a second. I would like to know if anybody would like to have a conversation with them where people can actually find them, if they have any social media, or if they would like people to contact them, because sometimes it's good about hearing it from the actual students themselves, or the people who have been through it and had the experience. So Thea, I'm going to go to you first. Where can anyone find you if they would like to ask you any questions?
So I am on Twitter. I mean, I don't really use Twitter, but it's there. It's a platform that's available. And also Instagram. I mean, my accounts are private, but I'm very happy for people to sort of drop me a message if they wanted to find me. So I've got to think now what my actual accounts are. That's the next helpful thing. I'm pretty sure it's my surname in some form. Actually going to have to look this up now. It's really, because it's one of those where you try so hard to think of like a unique handle, and then every now and then it's like, oh, actually that's already taken. It's like, damn it, how am I supposed to actually create
You have to
something?
go through about 5 names before you actually find the one.
Exactly. All right, so my Twitter is Loram_Thea, so LORAM_THEA. That is my Twitter, and I'm pretty sure it's Instagram as well, but I'm all linked up on Instagram and Twitter. But no, if anyone does want to, I'd be happy to answer anything, because, I think you're right. It's very well asking Lee, who obviously has helped create this and is developing it, but me and Michael have lived it. So,
Michael, what about you? Where can people find you?
So on Twitter, it's Michael Teeney Racing, and Teeney spelled T-E-E-N-E-Y. And I don't really use it much, but if anybody has any questions or anything about the course or anything like that, just feel free. Even about racing, if you want to have a general chit chat about horse racing, like I'll talk about that as well. So feel free to drop us a message.
I love this. I love the whole energy of this, because you guys have managed to tell me where you have come from not having the confidence necessarily that you thought you had, to having this abundance of confidence to even be on the show today and talk about things that really matter to you, and going deep into looking into the mirror, and also just expressing that we all come from different backgrounds, and no matter where you come from, you can do anything that you want in life. So this is actually where I turn around and say to you guys, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Ask People podcast, for telling us your stories. Lee, for welcoming, introducing me to these two lovely people here today. And also seeing you again has been absolutely awesome. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, you're more than welcome. Guys, I want to thank you so much for listening to the Ask People podcast. And please remember, you can subscribe and leave us a review on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and any other platform that you prefer listening to. Please also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And now you can go to our brand new website, which is www.uspeoplepodcast.com. Guys, thank you so much for listening again. Stay happy, stay positive, and as always, please continue to be kind to one another.
I need a solution. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with her. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with confusion. Yeah, I'm done. I need a solution. Peace of mind, peace of mind. Gotta keep my energy and peace of mind. I protect my energy and peace of mind. Gotta keep my energy and peace of mind. Peace of mind, peace of mind. Gotta keep my energy and peace of mind. I protect my energy and peace of mind. Gotta keep my energy and peace of mind. Peace of mind, peace of mind. Gotta keep my energy and peace of mind. I protect my energy and peace of mind. Gotta keep my energy and peace of mind. Peace of mind, peace of mind.
People say that having a peace of mind is trying to find a consistency of calmness within ourselves, to crave for a clarity that drives us through our emotional journey of life, to never let a person's judgment manifest into a fear inside of us, learning to believe in our ability to shine through the darkest moments and tunnels when we cannot see the light. Patience being our light for forgiveness and strength, to believe in our destiny. If you want real peace of mind, one needs to stop fighting their inner thoughts and embrace them with love, because love is the most amazing and beautiful strength that we have to conquer our peace of mind. Make your thoughts impact a nation by keeping them true and honest, especially to yourself, but make your peace of mind protect you when you don't have strength to embrace anything else. Find your peace of mind by listening to your heart. Good, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. How is it for you? Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
See, you guys
A
were
bit like a
chilled out.
therapy session for me.
So I've got the best partner.
I protect my energy and peace of mind. Gotta keep my energy and peace of mind.